The field is strong, but this eclectic bunch are among the best movies of 2022. And 2021, a year of tentative recovery and streaming experimentation, 2022 is the year Hollywood got back to relative normality. So today we bring to you this video about top 10 best movies released in 2022 part 1 and where to watch them. Watch the video completely so that you would not miss any one of these good movies. Number 10. Saloon. It is rare indeed that we get to see an African film in the Western world, let alone a high-budget project with a good amount of hype from its festival premiere. Then there is Saloon, the latest film from Congolese director Jean-Luc Herbulot, and is one of the most interesting horror-adjacent films in recent years. It combines elements of traditional African folklore, gangster films, westerns, and horror into a unique blend of entertainment that is refreshingly original. The story of Saloon focuses on an enigmatic trio of mercenaries known as Bangui hyenas who at the start of the film are working amid the chaos of the very real military coup in Guinea-Bissau in 2003. Their goal is to extract a Mexican drug dealer and his ample wealth in gold bars and leave the country before it's too late. Saloon got 6.3 rating on IMDb and 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is available to stream on Shudder. Number 9. The Roundup. The Roundup is the South Korean action crime comedy movie and sequel to 2017's The Outlaws. Set 4 years after the event of The Outlaws, The Roundup once again revolves around Don Lee's brutal but effective police detective Ma Sok-do. This time around, Ma and police captain Jean Il-man travel to Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam to extradite a Korean criminal. Though once they begin to interrogate him, Ma and Jean become wary of how cooperative he seems to be. It does not take long for the pair to discover that he is linked to the terrifying killer Kang Hae-sang, who has been kidnapping and murdering rich Koreans visiting Vietnam. Ma and Jeong are then thrust into a cat-and-mouse chase with Kang and his gang. With 7 rating on IMDb and 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes, The Roundup is available to watch on Prime Video. Number 8. The Adam Project. Time travel is a funny thing. The more you try to explain it, the more complicated it can become. This is perhaps the biggest issue in The Adam Project, a Ryan Reynolds sci-fi adventure now streaming on Netflix that tries to bludgeon you over the head with quantum mechanics and time travel mumbo-jumbo. The basic premise of The Adam Project is that in the not-so-distant future, time travel is discovered and the woman who discovers it becomes very rich in the process. As we are told, so Ryan also uses her power to make the future a terrible place. That is where Adam comes in. In the end, Adam, young Adam, and Adam's dad realize the only way to save the future is by destroying the experiment before time travel can ever exist. The movie got 6.7 rating on IMDb and 73% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is available to stream on Netflix. Number 7. Turning Red. Sorry Lightyear, but the best animated movie of 2020 is hands down this delightful and a bit deranged coming-of-age fantasy. Playing like the Pen 15 of the Pixar universe, Turning Red centers on 13-year-old Mei Lee, voiced by the spunky Rosalie Xiang, an obedient daughter, loyal friend, and boy band fangirl who also happens to transform into a giant red panda when she's overwhelmed. Since she is 13, that happens a lot. However, with the help of her ride-or-die besties and her devoted mom, Mei will find her way through the fur to the heart of who she truly is. Director Domi Shi brought a personal touch to this rollicking adventure which celebrates Chinese culture, the beauty of Toronto, and the goofy glory of the early 2000s. Turning Red got 7 rating on IMDb and 95% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is available to watch on Disney Plus Hotstar. Number 6. Pearl. Ty West and Mia Goth have a second elite horror movie in 2022 with Pearl, an origin story prequel to X. The film follows Goth as the titular character set against the backdrop of the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic. Where X is more of a slasher, Pearl is a horror-driven character study that builds and builds as it goes. West has described it as a demented Disney movie, and that feels just about right. You'll need to lock in to appreciate the intricacies of this character-driven story. But the last 20 to 30 minutes or so, and Goth's masterful performance within it, make it so worth it. With these two X films and a third titled Maxine coming soon, West and Goth have created the best original horror franchise of the last decade. Pearl got a rating of 7 on IMDb and 91% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 5. Incantation. Taiwanese filmmaker Kevin Ko's latest slow-burn horror film Incantation has touted itself as the scariest Taiwanese film ever made. Inspired by a true story involving a family of cult worshippers in Kaohsiung, Taiwan, the film was shot in a mockumentary style interspersed with found footage and actors breaking the fourth wall to address the audience. The film that bridges traditionally Taiwanese elements with contemporary horror employs the trope of a cursed video tale. Woman named Lee Ronan narrates the film, imploring the viewer to memorize an insignia and chant an incantation to send blessings and lift the curse on her 6-year-old daughter. Incantation set the record for the highest-grossing Taiwanese horror film of all time. Film got 6.2 rating on IMDb and 70% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is available to stream on Netflix. Number 4. The Witch, Part 2, The Other One. The Witch Part 1, Subversion, was one of my favorite films of 2018. It was packed with science fiction and action, all while questioning biomedical ethics and using extreme violence to not only shock, but tell its story. Now from writer-director Park Hoon-jang, the sequel is here. The Witch Part 2, The Other One, builds out the world that director Park created by increasing the number of superhumans and turning their powers up to 11. In this sequel, the story moves away from a confined secret lab and out into the real world. After a mysterious girl emerges as the sole survivor of a bloody raid on the research facility called the Ark, behind the top-secret witch program, she is rescued by a pair of civilians who soon realize the girl is both very powerful and in very grave danger. However, as the assassins tasked with locating and silencing the girl move ever closer, the lives of everyone balance on a razor's edge. The movie got 6.2 rating on IMDb and 71% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is available to stream on Amazon Prime Video. Number 3. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Chadwick Boseman's tragic passing certainly brought a black cloud over the Black Panther franchise. But Black Panther Wakanda Forever soldiered on, and to staggering results. Retaining most of the cast from the previous movie, Black Panther 2 is one of the best movies in 2022. The MCU film sees Wakanda facing a new threat from beneath the water as Tenoch Huerta's Namor, king of the underwater world of Talokan, threatens to bring Wakanda to its knees. The movie saw the third biggest box office opening during the pandemic era and made far more than its projected numbers. Positive reviews for Black Panther 2 further pushed the film into the spotlight as critics lauded the movie as a huge success for Phase 4 of MCU. With the careful passing of the torch, high-octane action and stunning visuals, Black Panther Wakanda Forever is easily one of the best movies in 2022. The movie got a rating of 7.2 on IMDb and 84% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it is coming on Disney Plus Hotstar in January 2023. Number 2. RRR. It is the most expensive Indian film of all time, a box office smash, and the most watched non-English film on Netflix. It is RRR, a 3-hour epic loosely based on real historical freedom fighters Alluri Sitaram Raju and Komaram Bhim, who are reimagined as odd couple-style buddies paired in a romantic action comedy where the big bad is a colonizing English tyrant played by a suitably scowling Ray Stevenson. But all this does not even scratch the surface of why RRR has critics and audiences around the world going wild. Word of mouth will tempt you with the promise of gonzo action scenes, like when one soldier successfully battles hundreds of protesters, or when a burly vigilante fights a tiger with his bare hands. And that's just their introductions. But beyond the eye-popping, over-the-top action sequences, RRR also offers a captivating thriller in which Bhim and Raju are pitted against each other over the fate of a kidnapped girl. Recently, the song Natu Natu is nominated as Best Original Song at 2023 Golden Globes, and the same song became the first Indian song to be shortlisted for the Oscars. Number 1. Avatar, The Way of Water. It's been over a decade since the first Avatar movie came out, prompting many to question why Avatar 2 took so long. However, James Cameron proved that Avatar: The Way of Water was well worth the wait. Jake Sully returns to the world of Pandora, raising a family of his own with Neytiri. Avatar 2 sees a new clan of Na'vi known as the Metkaina, a water-dwelling tribe who band together with Sully and the Na'vi to fight off a very familiar foe. Avatar 2 is easily one of the best movies in 2022 based on its fantastic visuals alone. James Cameron certainly took his time with learning and producing underwater CGI, and Pandora looks more magical than ever before. Initially, an Avatar sequel was supposed to come out in 2013, however, it's ultimately better that it came out in 2022. Technology has advanced tremendously since its first projected release date, and the CGI that's woven into the James Cameron film is a sight to behold. Avatar: The Way of Water easily slides onto the list of the best movies of 2022 as it's arguably a cinematic masterpiece. The movie got 8 rating on IMDb and 93% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll bring most exciting lists about the movies and TV shows every day, so stay tuned to our channel. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.